So I just spent the last 2 hours looking for my Santa hat for this video, only to remember that sometime last year, my dog got to it and bit off the puffy pom-pom ball part of it at the end, and we had to throw it away. Now, I need to add something else to make this video feel a little bit more festive. Let's try snow. Yeah, because that's believable. So it's that time of year again for the holiday gift guide. I truly love filming this video, you guys, because I get to give you guys ideas of gifts that you can give to your loved ones or maybe even gift to yourself. But at the same time, it's also kind of my year in review of gear that I have reviewed throughout the year. Not gonna lie, this video is probably gonna be really long. There's a lot of gear to cover. This was a big year for this channel. A lot of new sponsors, a lot of stuff that I truly want to share with you guys. I did put timestamps below so you can kind of skip around and truly use this as a guide, like a brochure, so you don't have to listen to me talk the entire time, or go ahead and listen to me talk for about 45 minutes. Dear God, I hope this video is really not going to be that long. As per usual, I'm going to break this down into different price points. Everything sub 100 bucks, then anything that's 100 to 250, then 250 to 500, and then everything else is above 500 bucks. I'm not going to go through each of these products too much just because I've pretty much done full reviews on most of this stuff already anyway. So if you want to know more about any particular product, just jump over to my channel and find the review for that and watch that. But let me just stop talking and let's just get into it. All right, up first in the sub $100 category, clothing from Off the Grid Surplus. I just really love Off the Grid stuff. You've seen me wear it on this channel. There's so many different outdoor clothing companies out there, and yet I keep coming back to Off the Grid just because of the utility of it, the toughness of it, and at the same time, it's super affordable. Like, that was their main goal, was to make great quality outdoor clothing that's affordable. As you guys know, you go to your chain supply store and you look for clothing for camping, and it's like 200 bucks, 300 bucks for a pair of pants. It's so expensive, and yet Off the Grid makes it super affordable. So this is their shirt that I love wearing. It's a short sleeve shirt. They have a long sleeve version of it as well. You have that side pocket here behind the main pocket, which I truly love using. You also have this like stash pocket back here. I don't think I have to tell you what you would probably put in there. Their pants, kind of the same similar situation. It's kind of like the cooler version of cargo pants. Not trying to call anybody out, but I used to wear cargo pants and they were just so baggy and they would just kind of drag me down a little bit, and there's pockets everywhere that wasn't even used. Well, the way they did theirs, all the pockets are pretty much placed in like key locations. So you have your pocket here next to your thigh, so you can just kind of slip your wallet in there if you want to. On the back, you have two pockets here for like pocket knives, multi-tools, and then you have your two main pockets, obviously in the back, but above that, you have these slimmer pockets on each side that you can put magazines in, so you can stash your magazines in there. Super comfortable and super rugged. I have these in every single color because I pretty much wear this every day. And now they have a pants version of that as well. It's basically the same as those pants, but in just shorts form. Yeah, Off the Grid, they'll range anywhere between 50 to like 100 bucks. They also have hats, they have t-shirts, they have hoodies. Go on their website, check out all the stuff they have, and I can guarantee you're gonna find them super duper comfortable. All right, so up next is a product that I know is gonna be a little bit harder for you guys to get. As you guys know, I'm sponsored by Lightforce, and this year they sent me the Lightforce Rock 9s in amber. I've always had the white versions from them, and this year they sent me the amber versions, and I just totally am in love. I'm never going back to the white rock lights again. Unfortunately, the Rock 9s in amber, you can't get them here in the States. However, if you live in Australia or you are going to Australia, you can get them there. You can buy the white versions here in the United States, but unfortunately you also can't order it through Lightforce's website because it's kind of going through a reboot. Any orders you want to make through Lightforce, you have to contact them, and then they'll take an order from you and send it out to you. Each of these are about $46.20. I'm running about 6 of them. It's good for just utility lights. So Rock 9s, if you can get them in amber, even better. All right, up next is Midland's MX-MC01 microphone for the MXT275 or 575 GMRS radio. This is just a much better microphone than what comes with the MXT275 and 575 radios. It's just a lot easier to hold, plus you have a much bigger screen. So for those people who have like poorer eyesight, this larger screen is going to help a lot. You can see the channels a lot better, plus all the menus on here is all written out. So it's not like this code where you got to just remember what the initials stand for. You can scroll through the menu very easily and make some changes faster. This also has noise canceling, more tactile to hold. All the finger grips are much better placed. It's just a lot more robust. And these run about $89.99. All right, up next are air system accessories from one of my favorite companies, TJM. TJM is an Australian-based company, shares 50% of the market share with ARB in Australia, and they just celebrated their 50th anniversary this year. So they've been around for a while. They're very, very reputable. Here I have some of the accessories for like air inflation, tires, things of that nature. Up first, tire pressure gauge, very, very important. You want to be able to check your tires. This is what I have from them. It's analog. I actually like analog a lot better sometimes because I don't want to have to worry about batteries or it dying or anything like that. This will come in right around $18. Now over here is their tire deflator kit. Works just like a standard tire deflator. You push this in, you pull the pin out, then you're able to deflate the tires. This one is digital, so you'll get an accurate reading of what you're putting your tires down to, and this comes in right around 40 bucks. Now if you're gonna deflate your tires, obviously you need to inflate them back up, and for that we have two pieces of gear. Here I have TJM's tire inflator. This one's also digital, so you'll get a proper reading of whatever you're inflating your tires back up to. Now with that, you're gonna want to get the airline kit. You get obviously your hose, you get a bunch of accessories for inflating everything, but my favorite accessory is actually the blower, which is this thing here that just connects here, and then if you have dust and whatever sand in your vehicle, you can blow it out. So this is great if you have a built-in air compressor on your rig. This helps a ton. We use this a lot when we're at the beach. Tire inflator comes in at 60 bucks and the airline kit comes in at 50. And then finally, TJM's tire repair kit. It is so crucial to have a tire repair kit in your vehicle, especially when you're running off-road tires. Even if you don't get TJM's, have at least a tire repair kit in your vehicle. Although for 40 bucks, you're gonna get everything that you need in this kit. Pliers to the plugs to lubricant to basically everything you need to fix your tire is going to be in this kit. So if you know somebody that's out on the trails all the time or are running off-road tires, get them a tire repair kit for 40 bucks. Can't lose. All right, up next are knives from Odin Wolf. I've actually really liked these knives. They are budget knives, but I've found myself bringing these more than my more expensive knives, right? Like when you're camping, overlanding, trailing, the last thing you want is to lose a really expensive knife. This one is a W1, and this one comes in at $24.90. Fixed blade, it's an awesome knife, and it can pretty much do anything you need it to do. There's hunting, skinning, cooking, all that stuff can be done with this knife. I also like the handle on it. It's like a rubberized handle, and it comes with its own molded plastic sheath. And then this one is the machete. I have like bigger machetes, but I found myself using this one more just because it's a lot easier to handle. Nice size. I also like that it's all black. These come in a multiple of colors, by the way, like orange and OD green. This one comes in at $89.90. Great size. Definitely worth checking out. Now up next is without a doubt the most controversial piece of gear I've ever put on my Instagram reels. This is the Moose Knuckle Jowl, and it's a shackle, okay, but what makes this one different than all the other shackles that are out there is that it's a split shackle. So which means you just have to mess with the pins one time, put it in your bumper, tighten it up, and then you never have to remove the pins again, because when you need to put a strap, you just open this thing up, put the strap through, bring this down, put the strap through there, and you now have a closed system. People either really loved the idea, and other people really hated the idea and were very skeptical that this thing will hold up. Moose Knuckle has done their testing, and I also know a lot of people who run this and have sworn by it. They come in a variety of different colors. This one is brass with a raw metal color, but you can get all brass or all raw metal, or you can get blue and red and yellow, whatever color you like. They have that option on their site, so you can do two-tone colors or one single color, and each of these run $65. Right up next are products that I literally just got in the mail like a couple of days ago. I haven't even had a chance to open it yet. This is from Bolt. They make locks for things that you probably didn't think you needed a lock for, right? Like they make locks for Max Tracks. They make locks for your high lift jack. They make locks for your Jeep hood. So as we all know, the Jeep hood can just be opened from the outside. You could put a lock on it so that no one can tamper within your engine bay. These ones are for trailers. This one is the receiver lock. So if you have something on your hitch that you don't want someone to steal, like a ball mount, you can put this pin on there and it goes to a lock and no one will be able to steal that from your hitch. This one comes in at $39.99. This one is the coupler lock for your trailer. You might have an off-road trailer that you keep outside. Well, now you can put a lock on the coupler part of that so that no one can just hitch it up and take it away. This one comes in at $79.99. All right, finally, one of my favorite pieces of gear in this price point. This is that one piece of gear that I didn't think I needed, but now I cannot live without. And that is the Front Runner Typhoon bag. This is not just your average duffel bag. The capacity on this is enormous. That's how big this thing is. It seals up like a dry bag, which means it's gonna be waterproof. Not water resistant, waterproof. So you can keep this on your roof rack and not worry about anything getting wet. Put your clothes, put your bedding. In fact, that's what we put in here is our bedding. And we know that when we get to camp, our blankets and pillows and sleeping bags are not gonna be wet if it's been raining. What makes this even better though is that this can actually compress. There's a air inlet right here, and you just gotta push this thing down and it'll take out as much air as you possibly can, saving you some space wherever you might put this thing. And this one comes in at $95. All right, kicking things off with gear between $100 and $250, the Factor 55 Flat Link. This is a solid upgrade to your winch. Winches already come with hooks, so a lot of times we have a hard time justifying paying over $100 just to upgrade the hook part of it. But if someone were to buy it for us as a gift, we would be totally ecstatic because so many people covet Factor 55 stuff. I mean, they're just the pioneers when it comes to making a much better hook than the one your winch came with. It is a little bit up there when it comes to price. This Flat Link is probably their most cost-effective one, best bang for buck, middle of the ground type of hook, coming in at about $146. It also comes in a variety of different colors. This one's black, but they have gunmetal, they have yellow, orange, red. What I also really like is that this is a closed system hook. You basically just put your soft shackle through here, and then you put your tow line or your winch line there, and you basically have a closed system, so you don't have any kind of way for your lines to kind of come off the hook, and so that's a lot safer. It's going to be a lot stronger for you as well. All right, up next is a product that's been somewhat going viral within the community lately, and that is the Devos Light Ranger Camp Light. This thing is awesome. It basically illuminates your entire campsite. It goes about 9 feet up with the stand that it comes with, but what's also great is that you can actually remove this from its stand and hang this anywhere you want. Super duper bright. They have these accessories that you can now start to get with it. You can get the filter kit, which comes with 3 different colors. You have yellow, you have red, and you have orange. I like having the amber. I think the amber one looks the best to me. And then you can even buy like an extra power bank. This power bank will just give you more juice, and this just clicks on to like up here, and then you'll be able to have extra power. You just plug your USB-C from the battery bank itself to the actual unit around here somewhere, like right down there, and then you have a longer run time. Now, a lot of people have complained also, well, like if this is 9 feet up in the air, that means I have to keep bringing it down to turn it on and off. This is true. However, they just came out with their motion detector. Anytime anyone or an animal comes by this sensor, this thing will turn on. So that's a great thing to have. You could put it at camp and have it somewhere where it's just turned off the whole time, so you're not wasting battery. And then whenever you need it, you just walk by it and it'll turn on for you. Also good for security at night. You know, if you're like in your tent and you have this outside, if you have like an animal or anything come straight past the sensors, then this thing will turn on and hopefully scare the animal away, or maybe scare an intruder or person away. There's some pretty creepy people out in the trails and campsites sometimes, so watch your back. The filter kits are $18. The motion sensor comes in at about $45, and then the extra battery comes in at $54. All right, up next is probably my favorite upgrade to both of my vehicles this year, and that is the Midland bull bar antennas. If you are looking for that Australian outback off-road look with the humongous, really thick antennas, these are the way to go. They're also super powerful. I have two that they sent to me, which is the Highland version, one that's about 27 inches and the other one that's about 48. Now the 27 inch is the one that I put on the 4Runner. That one comes in at about $159.99, and it gives you about 3 dBs of gain. Now on the Jeep, however, I put the Highland 6 dB gain antenna, which is about 48 inches tall. I mean, this thing is a beast, and I just love having it in the front of the vehicle on the bumper. I just think it looks really good there. And some people are going to disagree. They might want to put it in the back or whatever, but these were designed for bull bars, and just having it there, to me, it gives it that look, but also it gives me the strength of a 6 dB gain antenna that's 48 inches tall. I get really good reception with that thing, and that one comes in at $189.99. If you want to know more about these antennas, go check out the review video that I did on them. I did a whole range test and everything to see just how far we can get with both antennas. Go check that out and you'll see exactly how powerful these antennas really are. Alright, up next is a product I'm not going to spend too much time on because I literally just released a video on this like last week, and that is the Waterport Sea-Sucker mount. This was a collaboration between Waterport and Sea-Sucker. They created a mount that can go on the side of your vehicle and hold your Waterport like non-permanently, because it just suction cups to the side of the vehicle. This is perfect for those of you who don't want to run a Waterport every single day, 24 hours a day on your vehicle. You want to leave it at home and you just want to take it out when you go on your adventures. This is a great way to do that. If you're wondering, are suction cups going to actually hold a 42-pound Waterport without it falling off? Well, go check out the video I just did, because I put it through its paces. I actually even sat on this thing just to prove that it will hold, and I weigh way more than a Waterport. This mount comes in at $199. It is a little bit up there, but it allows you the freedom to just put a Waterport on your vehicle only when you need it and not have it there permanently. Especially also if you have like a smaller vehicle or something like that without a roof rack. This will hold that really well. Now, for all of you who are buying a gift for someone who owns a Jeep, this is going to be an awesome upgrade to their rig, and that is the Tuffy underneath storage box. This is an awesome place to just store some of the items that you want to make sure are secured or are locked up. I did do a full install and review video on this as well. Go check out the video titled 5 Random Overland Mods, and you'll see how I installed it and what I think of it. This Tuffy underneath storage box comes in at $159. Alright, up next is probably one of my favorite pickups from Overland Expo West this year, and that is the cleaning system from SaltShift. SaltShift is an Australian-based company, and they specialize in making a system specifically for off-road vehicles. Their solution here, this one actually helps dissolve salt. So if you're in an area where you're getting a lot of salt on your vehicle, you might live in winter areas where if you're driving down paved roads, you're gonna get a lot of the salt that they put down on the ground for snow. And here where I live in Florida, like we live on the beach, and of course I'm gonna have a lot of salt water in the air that's getting on my vehicle as well, and this helps to dissolve all of that. You also get obviously your sprayer, just plugs into a regular standard garden hose, which is great. You don't have to bust out the pressure washer to get this thing going. It's very powerful on its own. Then you can use it as a regular hose, and then you just click that onto the sprayer itself, put the solution in there, and then you basically do a foam wash. But what makes this system different is you'll also get one of these. This is a frame rail cleaner, which is, I think, is just revolutionary. You put your solution in there along with water, put this to a hose, you have your on off right here, and then you plug this. This has magnets, and it just basically attaches to your frame rail like that, and it'll spray the solution inside the frame rails of your vehicle. The frame of your vehicle has holes in it, and if you're doing water crossings, or again, if you live in areas where there's a lot of salt and things like that, it's gonna get inside your frame and it can rust it from the inside out. Well, this will help prevent that because you literally will flush your frame rail. This whole system, the solution, the sprayer, the frame rail cleaner, along with like a chamois and a washcloth, it all comes in together at about $231. But just go on their website because they have a bunch of other different bundles, or you can buy each of these individually. And then finally, to round out this particular price point, the Last Fit tire inflator. Every year I've put a Last Fit product in my holiday gift guide. I try to support them as much as I can. They make really good products and they're good guys over there, and they asked me if I could put their newly released tire inflator in my gift guide this year. I have not had a chance to test this. I literally just got this like a couple days ago, so I don't know how fast this will basically air up a 33-inch off-road tire. I think for coupes and sedans and things like that, I think this will be just fine. It is without a doubt probably the sexiest tire inflator I've ever seen. This almost looks like an internet hub. It does come with everything that you need to fill up the tire. $129, good to have like for peace of mind. All right, so in the last tier, we talked about the Factor 55 flat link. In this tier, we're gonna talk about the $280 Factor 55 Ultra Hook. Like, this is the mother of all winch hooks. This thing is awesome. I know it's a lot. Again, one of those things that someone might not buy for themselves, but if you got it for them, I'm sure they would be super ecstatic. Because this is the one that a lot of people covet. There's so many features on this thing. I mean, you have this hole here, so you can get a closed system, put your soft shackle through there, and you have a closed system there. Or you can use a really quick hook right there, and that's for like quicker connections like that. And what's cool about this too is that you also get like this pin right here that you can take out, and then you can put it into this slot here, and then that'll allow you to keep this from pretty much opening. This rope guard here is actually optional. When you buy it, it's not going to have this rope guard. It's going to kind of just look like that. You know, your winch rope comes in through here, and this thing is pressed up against the vehicle, and if there's no rope guard there, then your winch line is pretty much exposed in the front to all the elements, and they could get like abrasions on it and things like that. You don't want to weaken your winch line, but having a rope guard on it, that'll just kind of protect it from anything that's kind of coming through there or slapping up against your vehicle. It comes in a variety of different colors. This one is the gunmetal that I have, but they also have black, they have yellow, they have orange, they have a bunch of different colors for this one as well. All right, up next is a gift that I am super excited about, and is probably, to be honest, going to be the most meaningful out of all the gear that I've shown so far. This is one of those things that you're gonna buy for someone that you truly love and are truly close to. And I know you're looking at this going, all right, that sounds great, Asia, but I don't know if I wanna spend $250 to $500 for a knife. Like, I get that, but the reason why this one is a tad more expensive than most is because this one is actually custom. If you can get a custom knife made for somebody, I think there's nothing more meaningful than that, especially if this is what they're like into. This was made for me by Chad over at CK Knife and Tool. He had hit me up on Instagram, said, Asia, can I make a knife for you? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I didn't give him any instructions. I didn't tell him what kind of handle or sheath I wanted. He just made one for me and sent it over, and he did such a bang up job. Like, this is so amazing. So he gave me an orange sheath with a topo pattern, which looks awesome. And then the knife itself, he even put my logo on there, which is what makes this special. Like, I can pass this down to my son, and hopefully he'll pass it down to his kids, and basically have it in the family like forever. No one in the world is gonna have this knife but me. And he said that he charges about $350 and up for a knife. You get to choose a different kind of finishes that you want. He gave me a wooden handle. This one is a flat grind S35 VN stainless steel, 10.5 inches long, 2 inches wide, and the just the shape of this is like perfect. The balance on this thing is pretty sick. Like normally my knives will either be too heavy this way or too heavy that way. This one is just so perfectly balanced and feels so good in the hands. Like I haven't felt a knife feel this comfy in my hands before, and he did such an amazing job on it. Again, Chad from CK Knife and Tool, I'm gonna put his Instagram right here. All right, up next is something I just recently reviewed. That is the Bluetti AC70. This is a 1000 watt, 768 watt hour power bank, so it's definitely enough for you to run pretty much a bunch of the stuff that you need to run, like your fridge and things like that. Price point, I really love, $499. Considering that power banks usually charge $1 per watt hour, being that this is 768 watt hours, you would normally expect to pay $750 to $800 for something like this. For me, this is like the perfect size as far as power banks are concerned. It's not too big, not too small, and definitely gives you enough power that you need. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a sucker for organization, and if anybody were to buy me gifts that had anything to do with organizing, like I am all over it. And the Rux box is gonna basically satisfy all of my OCD needs. This is not budget-friendly box. This Rux box is $300. Yeah, a little bit up there, but the utility of it, the way it compacts and everything is pretty awesome. You basically just pop it open on both sides and you have access to all of your cargo on either side. And what makes the Rux box a little bit different is that it has all these like ways of organizing where you can buy different tote bags for it. So this is one of the tote bags that you can buy that slips right in there, and then you have these little latches to kind of latch inside. But what makes this one really cool is that it's also actually a dry bag. So check this out. Here's your tote bag. Down here, you pull out the inner liner like this. Just do a roll and then close this up, and you now have a dry bag. Like you can even get the little pouch that you can put your phones or whatever, and then this also just kind of snaps inside here to have this rail that goes all around the inside of the box, and then you can put all their little accessories, tie it into that. I even have another tote bag in here. This thing just collapses pretty easily. You just kind of break it down like this on each end, and then it kind of compacts down. You have a pretty compact box you can kind of put away and store when you're not needing it. $298. It comes in a bunch of different colors. This one is the sand. I think you'll like the system. I actually really like it a lot for our summer stuff. All right, moving right along, the front runner ladder for the 5th gen Toyota 4Runner. Now there are a ton of ladders that are out in the market, but I decided to go with front runner because I'm already running the front runner roof rack, and I didn't want like my ladder from a different company and the look is kind of off. I really like the pairing of the front runner roof rack with the front runner ladder. The front runner roof rack with the front runner ladder. I think together it just looks great. It looks more cohesive. The ladder is a little bit thinner than most ladders I've seen out there, but I kind of like that. It doesn't impede me from getting up on the roof rack, and it's also not so wide that it's kind of getting in the way of places. I did a full review on this and install, so just go and check out that video. The front runner ladder comes in at $269. All right, up next, again, something from Lightforce, the Lightforce Strikers. When I bought the bumper for the 4Runner, I wanted to put the Lightforce Genesis circle lights on there, but because of where the bull bar was, the lights wouldn't fit. So I went with the Strikers, which are these rectangular lights, and I put 4 of them in the front, and together it just looks so good. I put some amber covers on there, which makes this even nicer. What I love about Lightforce and what they really have down is their color science. Like they wanted to make sure that the light you get is not so ultra white that it's kind of blinding, but just very comfortable to the eyes, and they run at around 5,000 to 5,500 Kelvin, which is like the perfect color temperature because it's basically mimicking daylight. These Strikers, for a pair of them, will run you $304. Earlier I showed you the TJM accessories that you can buy for air compressors. I showed you the tire inflator, the tire deflator, tire pressure gauge, tire repair kit, all that stuff. Now I want to talk to you about their actual air compressors, which I have loved. On the 4Runner, I put the single air compressor. What's great about TJM's air compressors versus the counterpart competitor that you probably know by now is that it's a dual manifold that cools it through the manifold. So you're basically getting air go in between the manifolds to cool that air. So you're gonna get a lot longer run time. You know, the thing about air compressors sometimes is that they overheat, and when they overheat, then they just kind of die, especially if you buy like just a crappy one and you're trying to fill up an off-road tire with that thing. It's gonna take forever. So you definitely want to get yourself some sort of like higher powered air compressor or even an air tank. But this is kind of a combination of both. We have an air compressor, the single air compressor in the 4Runner, along with an air tank that's a little bit smaller. So it's basically going to fill up that air tank, and now I have air at the ready. The TJM single air compressor comes in at $339, and if you want to buy the 0.66 gallon air tank to go with it, that one's going to run you $169. All right, rounding out the $250 to $500 price point, the Harbor Freight Apex Badland jack. This thing is such a monster of a jack. I had a rinky-dink jack that I bought from my nearest auto store for years, and it just rusted out and it wasn't good. This thing rolls like way better. The ones I had before, you would drag and it would just creak like it was horrible. This, it rolls so nice. It's like having off-road tires on a jack. $319 at Harbor Freight. Alright guys, we only have a couple of products left, and in this gift guide is one and done. Now everything that's going to be in this category are those gifts that are going to be above $500. Whoever you're buying a gift for, if you're buying it from this category, what a lucky person to be receiving a gift like this. Now in the last tier, we talked about the TJM single air compressor, and in this tier, we're going to talk about the TJM twin air compressor. The twin air compressor is what I have in the Jeep, and man, it is blazingly fast. And just like the single air compressor, it also has direct manifold cooling. The one thing I forgot to mention that the single air compressor has, that this twin air compressor also has, is that both of these units perform at 100% duty cycle. If you've ever tried to use an air compressor before, then you'll know that sometimes it'll sputter on you, or it'll just kind of fluctuate as far as PSIs go. Well, this one's going to perform at 100% duty cycle, I believe up to 68 PSI. The twin air compressor comes in at $629, and if you want to pair it with the 1.5 gallon air tank, it's a little bit bigger like the one I have in the Jeep, that one comes in at $239. All right, so in the last tier, we talked about the Bluetti AC70. Well, in this tier, we're going to talk about the Bluetti AC180. If you need more power, this is it. This is going to give you basically all the power you could possibly need. In fact, for some people, it might even just be overkill if you're just doing like a weekend camp or whatever. This one is a 1800 watt 1152 watt hour power bank. You're also getting a bunch of different ports, and then right on top you also have wireless charging. So if your phone supports wireless charging, you just have to put your phone up here and it will automatically charge it without any kind of cables or anything like that. Really nice and clear display. This one comes in at $649. All right, and finally, rounding out our holiday gift guide, if you really want to go for gold and get somebody an awesome kit, consider the Max Trax Bush Kit. Everything you could possibly need for recovery is in here. And what I love about this kit is that it's a soft system, which makes this really, really light. A lot of times recovery kits are so heavy, and this one is much easier to kind of transport. The only metal that's in this whole kit is your hitch receiver and the winch ring. These do not come with this kit. You're gonna have to buy this separately. The winch receiver is what you put in the rear of someone's vehicle if you need a tow point. And then the winch ring basically replaces that really heavy snatch block. Instead of having that snatch block that's just hard to bring around, you can just get a soft shackle around this, put it to a strap around a tree or whatever, and you now have yourself basically a pulley type of system. But what does come with the kit, over here you have your shackles. You get 2 fuse shackles, and you get 5 core shackles with this kit. Now I'm not going to break down for you the difference between the fuse shackle and the core shackle. There's just not enough time to go into that right now, but I did do an entire review video breaking down the contents of this already. So go watch that video and it'll kind of instruct you on the differences between these 2 shackles. Now in the main compartment, you're going to get a bunch of ropes. You're going to get both static and kinetic ropes. You have kinetic rope 5, kinetic rope, this is number 3, and then you also get a kinetic rope 2. Yep, that's it. And the difference between 2, 3, and 5, just how many meters they are. And then you also get your static rope. Static rope number 0, and then you get static rope number, I believe, 3. A couple of other things you're going to get with this kit. You're going to get a rope dampener, which is really important. This is your rope dampener to put on the rope of your winch line so that way people can see where the rope is and they can know basically not to go near that area. And at the same time, the rope dampener also, once you are starting to winch, if that rope breaks, it'll bring that rope straight down versus having it fling up in the air. So it's definitely important for safety reasons to use a rope dampener every single time you do a winch pull. All of that comes in this amazing bag. Like, this is legit the best recovery bag I've ever owned, just because they designed it in a way that it holds all of their gear perfectly and it's sectioned off into areas so you can find things a lot faster. You have this long pocket here for the rope dampener, then you have the smaller pockets here for your shackles, and then the main compartment holds all the rope. You even have these 2 pockets on the side to hold your hitch receivers, or if you want to put a water bottle on the other one, go and do that. You also have 2 pockets on each side to put all the other doodads, like your winch ring. You can put a pair of gloves for, for recovery. You can also put your Max Trax recovery board flags. This one comes in at a whopping $1,005, but it's the Max Trax name, right? But I think it's worth it for peace of mind. Don't just get cheap recovery gear that's not going to do anything for you, because at the end of the day, you might have that gear and then you're still stuck. So get them something that's going to get them out of those situations, and sometimes you really can't put a price tag on that. And that's it. We completed it. The 2023 Holiday Gift Guide / Baptism Overland Year in Review. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you ideas on gifts to give to people. You don't have to spend a lot to get something really special, and also it's not about the gifts, right? During this holiday season, it's about being with your family and friends and your loved ones and just spending that time with them. But if you are gonna buy a gift for someone, then I hope this video gave you some ideas. And don't just watch this video either. Watch other people's videos also, because there's a ton of great ideas on there as well. But if you liked this video, please make sure you don't smash, deck the halls with that like button, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so we can let you be aware of videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and happy holidays, everybody. There's a fly in here, and I need to demolish it with my Crocs. Yippee-ki-yay, motherf***. You like that Die Hard reference because it's Christmas?